abandoned cats in the desert has animal rescuers outraged. Now find themselves left to fend for survival amidst scorching sands and unforgiving temperatures. Such acts of abandonment not only expose these animals to extreme hardships.
In a shocking event that stunned both animal lovers and officials, thousands of cats were abandoned in the deserts near Abu Dhabi, with no water or shelter. Left to face one of the harshest environments on Earth, these helpless animals fought burning heat by day, freezing cold at night, and almost no food, struggling to survive. Witnesses explained the scene as heartbreaking, with tiny paws sinking into endless sand, searching for safety. The cruelty of this act caused debates. How could anyone abandon so many lives to such merciless conditions? Join us in this video as we reveal the details. The shocking display of thousands of cats on the Abu Dhabi desert. Small wild cats, known as sand cats, live in some of the world's harshest deserts. Experts had watched these cats to learn more about how they hunt, move, and respond to threats. The researchers agreed it was time to release the sand cats to their real home, after watching that they were alert, healthy, and still following their instincts. Instead of making them rely on humans, the goal was to support their population growth in the wild. The sand cats did not rush out in a panic when the release started. Rather, a large number of them moved gently forward, stopping at the edge of the cargo boxes to smell in the scent of the hot desert air. As they listened to far-off sounds carried by the wind, their ears made tiny and cute sounds. After a brief moment, groups of them slipped into the open sand with steady, careful steps. The researchers quickly noticed that even after being handled for study, their natural behaviors were still strong. The sand cats lowered their bodies, spread out across the land, and moved toward rocks, shrubs, or dips in the ground, where they could hide safely. Hundreds of sand cats found cover, fell silent, and started looking around. They mostly relied on sound, picking up on minute movements under the sand with their keen sense of hearing. Many of them quickly changed to hunting mode. With their paws softly planted on the ground, they moved slowly forward. Then they froze, waiting and listening. Several cats leaped on hidden prey with quick bursts of speed. Even though they couldn't always see what the cats captured, the researchers were able to identify the skilled, fast movements of seasoned desert hunters. The sand cats stretched out and explored as the release went on. Around the discharge point, groups expanded their circles and marked new areas. They selected rougher terrain where they could move silently and stayed away from loose dunes. Sand cats move softly, blend in with the sand, and always disappear before anyone finds them, which is one of the reasons they are so challenging to study in the field. Their physique are ideal for surviving in the desert. They are covered from the heat during the day and the cold at night by their thick fur. They can walk on hot sand without getting burned and leave very light footprints because the fur on their feet acts as soft pads. These characteristics, along with quick reflexes and keen hearing, help them to hunt rodents, snakes, insects, and other small underground animals. Their ability to survive without water is another amazing talent. Sand cats survive months without a drop of rain in many of the deserts where they live by getting the most of their moisture from the animals they eat. Because of this, they are able to live in areas where even larger predators find it hard to survive. The largest problem is that many people are unaware of the existence of sand cats due to their extreme secrecy. An animal's needs are always overlooked when it is rarely watched.
Few felines spend all their lives in the desert, but sand cats are designed for this harsh environment.
A bigger strategy to save the species included the mass release of thousands of sand cats. By bringing back a large number of people at once, researchers intended to increase the population's chances of surviving and dispersing around the desert once more. The cats become more active as the sun started to set. They listened for prey moving under the earth, dug little test holes, and changed their paths according to the direction of the wind, while some continued on alone and vanished one by one into the waning light. Others formed small, transient groupings. When night fell, the sand cats disappeared entirely into the shadows. Their bodies vanished against the desert floor, and the wind quickly erased the tracks they left behind. By then, the researchers understood that the release had been successful. The cats hunted, explored, hid, and claimed territory exactly the way wild sand cats should. In the end, the release showed a powerful truth. Even after being watched and handled by humans, thousands of sand cats still carried the instincts that shaped their species. What happens when these elusive desert hunters are no longer confined to the wild? How do they survive, adapt, and impact the ecosystem when their numbers grow in the harshest environment on Earth? Stay tuned for more. Sand cats, desert survivors, and silent hunters. One of the hardest places on Earth is the Arabian Desert. The sand itself can grow as hot as 80 degrees, while summer days can reach temperatures of over 40 degrees Celsius, which could burn most creatures' feet. Winter evenings are bitterly cold, always falling as low as -25 degrees Celsius. The animals that are most suited to these extremes are the only ones that can survive. One of these animals is the sand cat, a small wild cat that lives almost only in deserts. Although they look like normal house cats, sand cats are the only cats meant to survive in such harsh desert conditions. Sand cats have many rare features that allow them to live in the desert, such as long fur that covers their paws to protect them from burning sand and hides their footprints, making it hard for predators to find them. It is very hard to find a sand cat in the wild. They move near to the earth to be hidden, exist in very small numbers, and mix in perfectly with the rocks and sand. To avoid being noticed, they keep their bellies low even while they run. If needed, they can run up to 40 kilometers per hour. They seek refuge from the hot sun during the day by hiding in shade or burrows. They become very active at night and travel great distances, up to 8 kilometers in search of food. Sand cats have to go far to catch prey because the desert is nearly empty. Their big ears are one of their most useful assets. They can hear very faint sounds far away because, to these ears, which are very bigger than those of a normal cat, in the open desert, where sounds travel far, this is quite helpful. Up to 500 meters away, rats, insects, and other small animals moving under the sand can be heard by sand cats. They eat anything they can find, including insects, crickets, rodents, lizards, and even tiny snakes. They get all the moisture they need from their diet. Therefore, they don't need to drink water. The way sand cats communicate and multiply is also rare. They use cries that sound like barks to find mates because they live far apart. Typically, female sand cats give birth to 3 kittens. In just 6 months, the kittens achieve the majority of their adult size due to their rapid growth. They become self-sufficient and capable of surviving on their own within a year. Sand cats are fascinating and well-adapted, but they are extremely challenging to study. Research is challenging because of their small population, reclusive lifestyles, and isolated desert dwellings. Very little was known about them until 2015. With the use of contemporary instruments like radio collars and trap cameras, scientists are now learning more. These tools help track their travels and understand how they survive. But the desert still protects them from humans and hunters. Sand cats are great hunters and tough survivors. They move strong, stay out of harm's way, and do well in very hot or cold places. They hunt nearly anything tiny enough to eat, making them the top predators in the desert. They are quick, intelligent, and very versatile despite their small stature.
One of these desert residents is a small one that you may have never heard of, the sand cat.
However, a lot about their life is still unknown. Their population, range, and survival strategies in such a harsh place are still being studied by researchers. In summary, sand cats are excellent display of how to survive in harsh environments. They are able to thrive in areas where few other animals can, and they make use of all the resources nature has given them. While scientists are slowly learning about them, sand cats remain one of the most secretive and mysterious animals of the desert. They show how life can adapt to the most difficult places and remind us of the delicate balance that allows creatures to survive in one of the harshest ecosystems on the planet. If humans once had to rely on parachuting cats to restore balance in disrupted ecosystems, how do wild cats survive on their own in the world's most extreme deserts? Let's delve deeper. Masters of the desert, the remarkable sand cat. One of the most amazing and enigmatic wild animals on the planet is the sand cat, also known as Felis margarita, or the sand dune cat. It inhabits some of the world's toughest deserts, such as those in Southwest and Central Asia and the Sahara in North Africa. These deserts are harsh places. Summertime highs of 119 degrees Fahrenheit are possible, while wintertime lows of -4 degrees Fahrenheit are possible. There is very little water and little flora in the arid desert. The land is largely made of sand, rocks, and little shrubs, and food is scarce. Despite all of these obstacles, sand cats are ideally suited to endure in this harsh setting. Small, compact cats are known as sand cats. Despite having unique characteristics that make them experts in the desert, they are always confused with domestic cats. They weigh between 3 and 7 pounds and are only 9 to 14 inches tall at the shoulder. Their tails are 9 to 12 inches long, while their bodies are between 15 and 20 inches long. Their lower body parts, including as the belly, throat, and nose, are lighter in color, and their sandy-colored fur helps them blend in with the desert. Each sand cat has a slightly different appearance, since some have minor stripes or spots on their fur, while others do not. They have a dark nose and greenish-yellow eyes, with a white ring around them. They can sense their environment in the dark because to their long white whiskers. Because of its numerous adaptations, the sand cat can survive in the desert. Its ear canals are twice as broad as those of domestic cats, and it has enormous ears. In order to prevent sand from entering their ears during storms, white hairs also protect them. Sand cats don't require water, in contrast to the majority of animals. They consume animals that provide them with all the moisture they require. Sand cats have excellent hunting skills. They go up to 5 miles at night in search of food. They eat small rodents, birds, lizards, and even desert snakes. They are especially known for hunting venomous snakes, like the Saharan horned viper, by striking accurately and avoiding bites. Their small size, camouflage, and quiet movement make them highly effective predators, even in a dangerous environment. Despite their remarkable skills, sand cats are in danger. Their habitats have been significantly impacted by humans. The places where sand cats can reside and find food are reduced by the construction of highways, towns, and farms. They are also at risk when they hunt for fun or for the pet trade. In addition to competing with sand cats for food, domestic and wild cats and dogs can spread illness. In some cases, people mistakenly believe sand cats make good pets because they look like house cats. Removing them from the wild often results in illness or death, as they are not suited to life in captivity.
Sand cats have a thick coat that insulates their body from the cold, keeping them warm at night and cool during the day.
Even with these challenges, the sand cat is listed as least concern by the IUCN Red List. This may not reflect the true risks they face, because sand cats are very hard to find and count in the wild. Current estimates suggest there are around 27,000 mature sand cats, but their secretive nature makes accurate numbers difficult to determine. Protecting their desert habitats, monitoring populations, and stopping illegal trade are key steps for their conservation. The sand cat is an extraordinary example of nature's ability to adapt to extreme conditions. Its fur, hearing, and hunting skills have allowed it to survive in deserts for centuries. Preserving the sand cat is not just about saving a species, it is about respecting one of the world's most unique and resilient desert creatures. Beyond their incredible desert skills, what deeper abilities and serious risks come to light when we look closely at how sand cats survive both in the wild and around humans? Let's find out. The hidden strengths and real dangers of the wild sand cat. One of the most surprising things mentioned by people who study them is their strong immunity to scorpion venom. In places where most living things must stay far away from deadly scorpions, sand cats can hunt and eat them without fear. Experts say the cats have a natural resistance that protects them from the poison, which lets them use scorpions as food when other prey is hard to find. This skill gives them a clear advantage in a land where survival depends on taking every chance to eat. The desert itself is a place where only the strongest animals survive. Many different creatures live there, including foxes, snakes, owls, insects, and lizards. Each one has its own way of staying alive in the heat during the day and the cold at night. But even among all these animals, experts say sand cats stand out because they are able to move quietly, dig fast, and find shelter under the sand. People who observe them explain that the cats can disappear into the ground within seconds, hiding from danger or strong heat. They also use the sand to ambush prey, waiting still for long moments until the right instant to strike. These actions show how well they fit into their environment. While desert animals have learned to survive out there, humans have not. According to many reports, the desert is extremely harsh for people. The heat can rise quickly, the nights can become freezing, and the wind can throw sand everywhere. Most travelers cannot last long without water, shade, or special gear. This is why sand cats' ability to live their whole lives in such a place feels almost unbelievable. However, even though sand cats look cute and small, they do not do well when people try to take them out of the desert. Research shows that sand cats cannot live well in captivity. They become stressed easily, refuse food, or get sick from diseases their bodies are not used to. Many of them grow weak or stop behaving normally when kept in cages or small rooms. Specialists have said that these cats depend on the freedom of wide-open spaces, cool underground burrows, and the natural rhythm of the desert. Without all these things, they lose the very instincts that keep them alive. Because of their sweet faces and small size, some people imagine they would make good pets. But experts strongly warn that keeping sand cats as pets is dangerous and harmful. First, they are wild animals, and their behavior can change quickly. They also have sharp claws, strong hunting instincts, and a deep need for space and silence. Reports show that many people who tried to keep them later discovered they could not control them or meet their needs. In some cases, the cats tried to escape, became aggressive, or got sick due to stress. Another serious problem is that removing them from the wild can harm the entire species. When people take kittens from the desert, adults often die trying to defend them, and the population goes down. Wildlife groups explain that keeping them as pets is not allowed in many places and can lead to fines or legal trouble. The safest place for these cats is their natural home, where they know how to survive in ways humans cannot ever copy. How did a small desert cat, once barely known to science, end up with such a complicated history spread across continents and centuries? Let's learn more. Global distribution and taxonomy of the sand cat. The first sand cat known to scientists was found in the Algerian Sahara and described in 1858. Since then, it has been seen in separate areas across Western Sahara, Morocco, Algeria, Niger, Chad, Egypt, the Arabian Peninsula, and the Middle East. In Central Asia, it was first recorded in the Karakum Desert in 1925. The large gap between these two regions was partly filled in 1948, when a sandcat skin was discovered in an oasis in the Rub al-Khali in Oman. Sandcats live in scattered locations across the deserts of the Arabian Peninsula and Middle East. In the early 70s, sandcats were captured in southwestern Pakistan and sent to zoos worldwide. Felis margarita was the scientific name given by Victor Loche in 1858 for a sandcat from the Negonsa area in northern Algerian Sahara. The holotype seems to have been lost. The species is named after French General Jean-Auguste Marguerite. During the 20th century, several sand cat specimens were described. Aramyalurus thenobius was suggested as a species by Sergei Ognev in 1926 from a specimen in the Karakum Desert. In 1938, Pocock reclassified it as Felis thenobius and later as a sand cat subspecies, which is still recognized. Pocock also described Fmeo minertzagani from Algeria and Fm irensis from the Air Mountains in 1937. Fm shefali was described by Hemmer in 1974 from 7 sand cats in Pakistan. Fm harrisoni was described in 1976 from a male captured in Oman. In 2005, Wozencraft recognized 4 valid subspecies and considered some earlier ones synonyms. In 2017, the cat specialist group recognized only 2 subspecies based on physical differences. What do you think about the survival instincts of the fierce sand cat? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you found it interesting. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Click the next video shown on your screen to catch up on your favorite celebrity stories. See you there.